Hello, Dog Pound. It is I, yes, the real uncensored Browns fan, here for a season finale of Brownies, Cookies, and Water, wrapping up what just happened for the 2021 season. Um, I think we're in what Super Bowl four. Man, I ain't even gonna talk about that yet. That's later on in the show. Just hope everybody's having a good year, um, and that y'all staying warm and you don't have to change a car battery in the middle of the freaking cold here in Northeast Ohio. Cause I had to. Anyways, I'm just gonna wrap it up. Got like a few topics that I see here that I want to talk about. Make sure I wrote them down so I didn't forget them in this episode. So we'll jump into it. First and foremost, just recently seen the Pro Bowl yesterday, and um, I'm just very proud of our players that represented us. Joel Batonio, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Denzel, The Warden, and Wyatt Teller. Five great players that's been consistent with us throughout the years. None of them are rookies. Nick's been there a couple times. Myles been there a couple times. I think Wyatt even been there a couple times. Joel been there multiple times. I don't know if I said Denzel. I know Denzel was there his rookie year. And yeah, I mean, it's just a good thing. It's like a good honor. It's a good representation of the team. Makes you scratch your head a little bit. It's like, dang, y'all got five dudes. So almost like we got six. But we got five guys that's there, and it's like none of them made it to the playoffs. So obviously not all their faults, but obviously it's a team game, and when your team's not playing well, you're gonna have the excuse me, those type of things. Now I got a runny nose, so that's about it. But it's nothing more, so don't be afraid. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, like I said, just I appreciate their contribution to the team. I appreciate their work ethic, the grind that they put on throughout the week to go on a Sunday and show it off amongst their peers, week in and week out. To get that honor, to be there with some of the greatest players in the world. It's like an all-star game. Speaking on the Pro Bowl, I mean, I guess it was interesting because I knew a lot of players for us. I mean, Myles scored a touchdown, and Denzel had some good plays, and Joel and Wyatt, they looked good out there being on the line, and Nick had a few good runs, a few good catches, and um, so like, but as far as like it's a game, we all know it's not a game, and I get it, like we want it to be a game, but like there ain't no reason for anybody to get hurt in this shit. And I understand there's some type of coach or some dudes that play hard all the time, but you gonna get shunned. I'm sure you will get shunned if you try to go against the grain of everybody else saying we ain't playing that hard. Cause they was playing like a real rough two-hand touch, if you will. Like some of the dudes was like they was like getting them with two hands, but kind of lifting them up to make sure they hit the floor. And I mean, like I said, man, it's it's a whatever game anyway, but at the same time, like I get it that we want it to be a little bit more meaningful or entertaining, but like I said though, AFC is what's running shit right now, man. You see how we ran up the score. AFC is a tough ass conference, so yeah. But yeah, nonetheless, congratulations on those dudes. And like I said, very proud. Hopefully, we'll get a lot more people. I don't know how many more you can have on from each team, because I mean five is pretty much. I think I didn't see too many other people. Too many other conferences have about five players from each from their team respectively. So that's like I said, that's a testimony to those guys, how hard they work and how they separated themselves amongst the pack. So shout outs to the boys. Moving on. Hugh Jackson. It was so crazy that Hugh Jackson is in Browns headlines right now. And I know he got a job at Grambling State, which I was very proud of. HBCU, I'm pretty sure of, because I remember they used to do those games. Grambling State and Grambling, and it was like University, like some other type of HBCU. I can't even remember. Grambling State, not Procter and Grambling had the G. It'd just be like any other random HBCU that's coming up, maybe from like Alabama or something like that. Who knows? But they used to have these things called the Ohio Classics, where they have like, you know, the HBCUs play. They play 1 year in Cleveland, and then the next year they play in Cincinnati. And we used to go to both. Like when it was in Cleveland, we go to the one in Cleveland. When when it was in Cincinnati, we go to the one in Cincinnati. It was very entertaining because BT used to be involved in it. So they have like, you know, I remember seeing Free there for the first time, and man, her booty is so big. I never thought that. Like when I was like, that's Free, like, cause you see her on 106 Park, and I was like, man, like when I seen her live, I was like, golly, and, you know, I'm 13, so you know me, my ass going crazy. I was like, oh hell no, cause I ain't never seen it like that before. Because like nowadays, like big booties is like almost the norm now. It's like if that's what you into, it's like it's not gonna be hard to find now, but. You know, back in those days, it was rare. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, I mean, I ain't gonna say it was rare because there was still BBLs that existed, but maybe that's what she had. I don't know. But nonetheless, like I said, it was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And it was great to see. Honestly, it made me like her a whole lot more. I used to want to watch 106 Park even more after that. But anyways, they have, like I said, BT is sponsored. They have Procter&Gamble there. You know, the company that like own, what is it, Crest. What else they got? Procter&Gamble, Crest, like the Crest products, and they own a whole bunch of shit, to be honest. But they based in their headquarters in Cincinnati, so I think that was the reason why they were such a big sponsor. And it used to be cool. They used to give you some good shit. Like they used to have like all the like the toothpaste. They used to have like all the different flavors. I remember they was coming out like cinnamon toothpaste and stuff like that, and all types of stuff, and like berry flavored toothpaste. It was like a bunch of, like I said, it was a good ass goodie bag. And they used to give you like mixtape CDs. That's why I found out what Down the Way was, which we'll talk about. You know, I'm going for Down the Way for the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's the team Who Dey. But yeah. It had Ray Cash and shit on there. And then they used to have like the bands. Obviously the HBCU, the biggest thing that it wasn't usually the football team that you was there for. You was there for the band. If y'all seen Drumline, that's the type of shit that you would see in the halftime performance at one of those type of games. And then you had the day before the game, there was always like, you know, the Divine Nine fraternities or whatever, which is like the black founded fraternities. They all had their step shows and stuff like that. That should be fun. You know, it'd be funny too. You know, some of the chants that they be speaking and stuff. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So, damn, I don't even know why I got into talking about the Ohio Classic. Oh yeah, because Q got a coaching job. So yeah, so he got a coaching job there or whatever. So I'm happy for him. When I heard about it, I was so happy for him because I was like, I thought it was kind of wrong how bad he was getting treated. Now, prior to him just being in the wavelength with the Brian Flores thing, which is dirty for one, for sure, because it wasn't like Brian Flores was losing. Even if they told him that he was supposed to be losing, and the fact that he was still winning, I think at one point they was like at the top of their division last year. And then, you know, they get Tua, and I ain't never think Tua was going to be that dude, but I'm going to slow down because every time I keep saying shit like that, they come and they play us and they beat us. So I'm not going to sit up here and talk too much smack unless like my team can back me up and I can start talking smack again. But but I would like that. I would like to talk smack when my team can back me up so that these players don't look like they proving me wrong. But yeah, what I'm saying is that, you know, he got that opportunity, and I'm thinking like right before the headlines, you know, Brian Flores, that's just. Hue Jackson, I mean, bottom line, bro, I think you knew what you was getting yourself into, man. You know what I'm saying? I think you knew what it was. Like, you couldn't have signed this deal thinking that, oh, you know, we, you know what I'm saying? I was in a bad position, because if that was the case, you should have just turned it down. But, which also goes to show as far as like the Haslams, they don't discriminate against hiring black coaches, because I mean, Shashi was black, and now he got hired with the Ravens. I mean, but at least he's not a GM. And then they had Hue Jackson. We had black quarterbacks before. People be saying we can't have a black quarterback. Robert Griffin was here. What was the other dude's name? He was kind of light skinned. Damn, man. Back in the day, fuck, it was oh man, my mind is drawing a freaking blank. And I think it was like, might have been when Pettin was here. He was more of a shorter guy. Oh, Seneca Wallace was black. It was another one too, though. I'm thinking of, but I can't remember right now. And so I don't know why people like always make it a racial thing. Like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? Us as black people, we do, you know, we do got it hard. Don't get me wrong. Like, the system is not meant for the world, is not meant for dark-skinned people. It don't matter in America or anywhere. You know what I'm saying? The only time I see like where that stuff really don't go down like that is like in Latin communities. But even then they got their own, like when you watch the TV shows and stuff, that it's like it's predominantly more casted like, you know, whiter favored Latin people than opposed to the darker people. When, I mean, all this shit, the traditions, the culture and stuff from them, it come from Africans anyway. So like I admit that there is like a little bit of a harder thing for us, but I really truly feel like that's our own fault. You know, I think that we look so much at blaming other people instead of just taking accountability for our own actions. And like, and it sucks because it's like, I see when there's times that the community, as far as like dark-skinned people community get together, there's always that one fucking sellout. Always that one sellout where it's like, They go over to the side that's not dark. And I don't want to say it's like a white versus black thing, but I mean, who got the money? You know what I'm saying? So then they pay them to sell their community out. And then we got an infiltrators. It's like a Judas Iscariot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you hanging out with the community or whatever like that, but you gonna sell us out, you know? And that's what always fucking happen, is that greed somehow comes a part of it. And then we can't have a community. But if we would just be more solid amongst each other and treat each other how we wanted to be treated and stop having envy and grief and all that other, like envy, grief. What else? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's like envy and wanting more. Not grief, though. I don't think grief is it. But just selfishness, pride, all that. Like, that's dark-skinned people. We use prideful people, but that's because we have the right to be. You know what I'm saying? Because we great. Like, everything we touch is great. It's like, the NFL wasn't great until black people, you know, Major League Baseball wasn't great till black people started getting into it. NBA wasn't great till black people started getting into it. So it's like, we definitely got our significance in the world. Even rock and roll, it wasn't great until fucking Jimi Hendrix started playing fucking rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got our place here because it's just like, we the first man. Everybody know, like, shit, goddamn Noah or Adam, they was black. Shit, go watch that damn Geographic. Look at the Search for Adam. It was a damn Geographic thing where they know. So if you ain't know, go watch that shit. It's on YouTube. You will find it. It's called Search for Adam, and watch it. It's pretty long. It's pretty interesting too. But anyways, I ain't went on a whole tangent. But this is the season finale, so y'all gonna get all of this. So yeah, man, like I said, with Hugh and everything like that, him being a black coach and stuff like that, like the Haslam's, they never batted an eye. Even Barry right now, he's black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as far as like coaching, like Ben-Ami, like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I don't know the dude's personality and stuff like that. So, I mean, maybe he rubbed people the wrong way. Maybe, I don't know. But at the same time, like I said, it's our own fault. You know what I'm saying? It's really our own fault. We just need to continue to outwork everybody. You can't be a part of this motherfucking no child left behind mentality. You can't be a part of this as far as like, if you a person of color, you can't be a slacker. You can't think that, oh, I'm gonna just have the same opportunities. That's just our life. We just gonna have to work harder than everybody else. And then as far as the black female, them the ones I salute to the most, because they have it the worst. You know what I'm saying? Not only is you black, but you a female on top of that. It's tough. That's why I give my shout out to my sisters whenever I can. You know what I'm saying? Showing love whenever I can. If I could, you know what I'm saying? you know, drop a bill or something like that, whatever it is, you know, take care of my mama, obviously, you know what I mean? Like anything, like whatever I can do, you know what I'm saying, to support, you know, the ones I feel like as far as like the pyramid goes, I don't know what else to call it, the hierarchy, I think they at the fucking bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not only is you black, but you a woman on top of that. So like, you know, we gotta praise our sisters a little bit more, show them a little bit more love, and let them know that they valued and appreciated. And hopefully they appreciate us back. Sometimes they do be like, they do be too rough though, because they gotta be strong. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they gotta be so strong is like they don't got time for weak shit. So yeah, man. Damn, man, this is I ain't meaning to get it like this deep, but nonetheless, like I said, man, Hue Jackson, I was really thinking that overall, for real, is that this is what I was wanting. I was wanting Hue Jackson and I wanted Baker Mayfield to set up like some type of conference or some type of look where it's like they get together and they just discuss and they talk, and like, because I think what Hugh was trying to present to Baker, like, this game will bring you to your knees, which after last year, it looked like it fucking did to Baker. Like, it looks like everybody hate Baker all of a sudden. I'm not off the bandwagon. If they want to call, I see the new term out there, Baker Bros. That's just funny. Super funny. But yeah, I'm still on the, that's my guy. That's my pick. This is my team. This is who I said that I started the channel for. So like, I'm not about to bail on him right now because he had a shitty ass year. I mean, yes, it's been up and down, but we always been an up and down team, and we didn't really start winning until he got here. You know what I'm saying? And the accumulation of talent that came along with it. But he was definitely in the mix. He was definitely in the fold. It wasn't just the other people and none of Baker, and it wasn't like all of Baker and none of the other people. It was kind of a thing that we were all going to do together to make it collectively. Like, that's why we got to the playoffs, and we was hoping to replicate that this year, but it didn't happen. Obviously, when he made that tackle and he went out that game, I think at that point I kind of felt it was over, but when he came back out, it made me feel a little bit better, but it just seemed like nothing ever really, you know, fruition into that. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I was trying to say like a press conference, a holding, maybe if Jimmy want to be in, but Jimmy shouldn't be in it. I think Jimmy and D, they need to stay the hell away from all of this shit, because Jimmy and D, they did their part. Hugh was still getting paid after getting fired, so it don't even matter. Like, I get you worried about your reputation and everything like that, and internal discord and this, that, and I went behind your back and this, that. Like, I mean, but at some point, you know what I'm saying, you gotta take, like Jimmy said, you gotta take accountability for some of that shit, because I'm sure there was some stuff that you was trying to do, you know, behind their back. And yeah, they probably didn't give you the support that you thought that you was going to get as far as like getting a quarterback and all that shit. We had Deshaun Kaiser was shitty, but then we had Duke Johnson, and he wasn't even using Duke Johnson the right way. So, you know what I'm saying? What at what point, you know what I'm saying, do you, like Jimmy said, what are you going to take accountability to some of the shit that you fucked up for? And Jimmy accepted his. So, like I said, I mean, I think what it is Hue Jackson is hurt, and hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to hurt the Browns as much as he can, but I think if we can kind of like extend the olive branch, and I know that's like probably not Baker's way, I know that's probably not Jimmy's way, you know, they got money and stuff like that, but if they could extend the olive branch, maybe hold a conference, you know, maybe discuss a little bit of details, what was the things that they really enjoyed about each other, but not on no fake shit, but like on some real genuine shit where like people could know, like, you know, it wasn't as bad as it was a compatibility issue. They just wasn't on the same page. So same thing with you know what I'm saying? It was just, that was what it was, and kind of like build his brand up a little bit so he could feel better. He could leave us the fuck alone, cause like it just seemed like he ain't gonna go away until he get like some type of sorry or something like that. Cause I mean, what Baker did was it was funny, but it was messed up though. It was like, damn, man, you didn't have to go hard on Baker, on Hugh like that. And the way that Baker was at the time, it was like he kind of could, because it was like he was doing this shit in Cleveland, but now he on the bottom. So it's like, it's a really good sign of maturity for Baker, I feel like, to do something like that. You know, maybe they do like a dinner and they have the TV there while they sitting there eating dinner and just talk about, you know what I'm saying, some stuff. And like I said, what they liked about each other, maybe what were some of the things that they felt like they didn't like, and, you know, how they thought that they should have treated them differently. and just kind of like it be an open and get a lot of money from it if y'all want, because I'm sure people gonna want to watch that shit, and let it be that. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no reason why this motherfucker need to be talking about us still years later. Like, you know what I'm saying? We done went to the playoffs, everything. You done got a new coaching job. Proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that, because it was crazy. I was like, why didn't he coach high school or something? You know what I mean? Like, but Grambling State is a good gig, man, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's, like I said, a lot of black, it's a HBCU, so it's like, you know what I mean? You get to be a leader of men, a leader of the men that look like you, of your community. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Why not accept that? You know what I mean? I get it. It's not the NFL. It's not going to pay like the NFL and things of that nature, but you're doing what you love. I mean, that was the whole reason why you did it in the first place, and you got plenty of money. Like I said, Jimmy was still paying you after you got fired. So that's that. But that's my whole take on the Hue Jackson thing, because I didn't think he was a totally bad guy, but to some extent, like, I do feel like he was avoiding some type of responsibility in the things. But nonetheless, I mean, what Sashi Brown was doing to the team, yeah, it set us up as far as financially and draft picks and all that other shit. But the losing, I mean, 1-31, that shit was rough. So nobody wants to go through that, especially at no fucking coach. Next topic is with Baker and Kevin in this passing game. I'm just sitting here. So I was watching, obviously, like I said, I roll with Hue all throughout the playoffs. Now they in the Super Bowl. But I'm looking at, like, all these other offenses and who else runs offenses like ours. Like I said, like, there's a few coaches. There's Matt LaFleur from Green Bay, Sean McVay, who's also in the Super Bowl for the Rams, Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers, and he was like the one. And I think that was the reason why we hired Kevin, because, like, I remember a while ago, like, that was the best offense that we had. And I know I kept mentioning on this channel that, like, that's the type of offense we need, and that's what Kevin was bringing. And obviously for 2020, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It was great. But what I'm starting to notice is that this offense, at least in the passing part of it, it's really tough, I think. You know, the only reason why it's not as tough for Sean McVay is because of the personnel that they play. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about personnel, because I'll just be able to tell you what I see. But basically, they got 3 receivers instead of having all those tight ends like we do. So it's more, obviously with receivers, they're meant to catch the ball, so it's more passing oriented. They only have one back, they don't have a fullback, and they make it work. You know what I'm saying? About now with Shanahan, like, over in 49ers land, everybody keeps talking about, we need to bring Jimmy G over here. Like, really? Really? Like, did y'all not see the playoffs that he was playing? Like, it'll be the same exact shit, because it's the same exact offense. Yeah, he might make a little bit better decisions than Baker, and I don't want to say he even do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's maybe literally a little bit better, but I just don't think these type of offenses are built to succeed as far as throwing the ball. They're supposed to be short, quick passes and stuff like that, and I get that. But as far as, like, where we see it, we're a good-ass quarterback like Matt Stafford, who had, I mean, I know they used to call him Stat Pafford, but shit, the stats is the stats. I mean, he was still throwing up the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. Like, and playing damn good football. No, they didn't have winning seasons and stuff, but he played good football all his years. And him to be a passing quarterback, to go to an offense like this, where it's like, in my opinion, where I was thinking, like, damn, like, why is it so hard to make these, to play good in these type of offenses as far as, like, being a quarterback? And it made me think, like, well, what about the time when Matt Ryan was with Shanahan, and how did that work? Now, I obviously can't pull up the film from that. I didn't watch Atlanta, but whatever it was about that, and I think what I was reading was that Matt Ryan had so good anticipation that he knew exactly what the defenses were going to do. And that's where, you know, where it that worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm trying to think, you know, what can we do? You know, how can they get this passing? Like, Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid also runs a West Coast offense. I don't think it's a wide zone run type thing, but he incorporated things that Patrick Mahomes does successful in college, like the air raid and stuff like that, to make it the passing game more prolific. I think we need to do the same thing with Baker as far as just installing a better passing offense, something that's a little bit more not vanilla, where you gonna know where it's at. 2, and that's between Baker and Kevin. They need to get it together. 2, I think Baker needs to have a training session, study session, film session, whatever you want to call it, like mental session. Some with Kevin and the offensive coordinator, whether it be AVP, let them show them, and then, like, do that for like 3 or 4 days, and then 3 or 4 days do some study as far as what defenses are going to try to do to him and what they are trying to look for and get him to do with a Joe Woods or another defensive coordinator that is unbiased, objective, and that could keep it real with Baker and tell him, like, this is what you need to be looking for, and this is the reason why they're doing this thing for you, where Baker can't get, Baker shouldn't get offended, and just to take the knowledge and understand what defenses are looking at, because, like I said, for this type of offense, you got to have anticipation. You got to know what the defense is going to do before it do. Obviously, Matt Ryan was able to do it. He figured it out, so that's what we need to see Baker to see. Like, you got to be able to figure out this offense. You got to be able to know where to go to the ball pretty much all the time, you know what I'm saying, to get us where we need to get to, and where we could trust you, too, because we know that you're just going to make the right decisions. Last year, there was not a lot of good decision-making, but you was playing in pain, and I know when you're playing in pain, it's hard to think clearly. So I'm gonna chill on him about that. So that's my opinion on Baker and Kevin. Like I said, they just need to get it together, but I really think Baker needs to study a lot with some other D coordinators. Like I said, off and on, 3 days with the offensive coordinator, all the offensive side, 3 days with the defensive side, trying to mesh them together so you can kind of see both aspects of it, and like I said, understand what defense are trying to do to you, maybe how they trying to confuse you and things like that, so you don't have to be confused. And then I think that's just a good look. Next is the draft picks. So last video, I had made a mention that I wanted to trade up to get 2 picks in the first round and get 2 receivers. At the time I said that, I said I wanted Garrett Wilson. That's a guarantee, bona fide. Like, I have to get him. We have to get him. And then the other one was Jameson Williams. Now, Jameson Williams since then got hurt since I made that video, which puts him back on the same perspective as Drake London. So really, I feel like you could either two. But if I was to be like, so they're basically on the same level to me. Garrett Wilson is top. Whoever we can get out of these next 2, Drake London and Jameson Williams, I'm starting to rely more on Drake London. Obviously, the height is a thing that sticks out. The contested catches is something that stands out to me. And the fact that it was an ankle injury more so than an ACL tear. I heard that bones are they're more probable to repair better than any type of tendon or tissue. And plus, Jameson's stuff happened just more recently, so we need somebody to be able to go quickly. Now, I mean, if he has a good combine, if he can, and I don't think he's going to have a combine. So, I mean, if he could come back, maybe you consider, but I don't know. Like, I just like I said, that him and Garrett had like a prior relationship where they knew each other already. And I figured that could possibly help each other just running off, because sometimes with receivers, you got to run off each other as far as routes. Like, you got to set it up where, picks and rubs and, do all that type of stuff. And both of them were going to be able to pull the top off of defenses. I didn't see that out of London, but Baker being short, it's good to have a security blanket type of receiver where it's like, that if you throw it up in their area, they probably going to come down with it. So, and that's kind of like a Mike Evans thing. So, I mean, I'll leave that up to them, but I think you can't miss on either 3. But hopefully they drop, I don't think Drake London, because his repair has been going a lot better, but I think Jameson Williams might drop, closer to the end of the round, perhaps. I don't know for sure, but we'll see how the combine pulls out, because some people we just talking about what we see right now, but when the combine start, obviously, people's antennas poke up, and everybody else is getting, wanting around that. But no, that's still my thing. And obviously I'll talk more about that as, the Super Bowl is over and I'll start the brownie cookie and water season again. And start to talk more about, free agency and draft picks and things of that nature. So yeah, that's that. I know that people was talking about drafting the developmental quarterback. I think that's a dumb idea. I mean, yeah, you can call me a Baker supporter, but I just think it's a dumb idea. I think it's a waste of picks. If anything, you need to draft a developmental tackle, somebody that can be a swing tackle, so that way when Jag goes out, because it seems like he goes out all the time, and I don't know, offense, you know what I mean? But I think, like, some of that comes down to him to not, being there on that side, and things got rough for Baker. I mean, but like I said, we need Baker to step up to where we can give him this money, because we know that if there's a hole in the ship right here and this and that, and the ship is sinking, but you pad it up, but you can still, I mean, that's a bad example. But what I'm trying to say is that you can lift up some shit even though we got, you know what I'm saying, a bad look. You know what I mean? Like, even though you don't got the best odds, you don't got the best offensive line like a Joe Burrow, but you can still go out there and produce. And maybe it's because we need more receivers. So, like, instead of doing that, like I said, draft pack on some receivers or some tackles, you know what I'm saying, or a defensive tackle. Like I said, I still want Haskell Garrett, so, that's still in my mix. But like I said, Andrew Berry, I mean, he's the man right now. I'm not going to question him too much as long as it's not all that Michigan shit, you know what I'm saying? But that defensive edge, he is nice, though, but he's going to be gone way before we pick him, so thank goodness, because I know, like, if he was on the board for us, we probably would select him, and I wouldn't be mad at that. But that's with our other dudes not in there, like Garrett or the other two receivers, London and Williams. So, yeah, I think they need to draft a developmental tackle, not a fucking developmental quarterback. Quit trying to disrespect Baker like that, and let's move on. Last, not least, let's talk about the Super Bowl. So, who day is in there? I'm talking about the Bengals. I'm talking about Cincinnati down the way. You heard me, 513. What's up? I'm proud of them, man. I'm proud of them as far as the state of Ohio. No, they're not my team. Y'all know it's where it's at. It's what's behind me. The Browns all day, every day. Like I said, just because we was out, I'm on the TV, on the couch, watching it on TV like I always do. But I was rolling with them because of the state of Ohio. It's Ohio versus everything thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, especially because we not in it. It was like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Root for like I said, I fuck with Ohio in general. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Akron, Dayton, fucking Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Middleburg, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Columbus, shit. I fuck with it. I fuck with Ohio. That's it's all the same, and it ain't really too much shit far away. Like Cincinnati, like 3 hours away from here, 3 or 4 hours away from here. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Joe Burrow. I know he would be that nice, but he representing. You know what I'm saying? He putting down for Ohio. You know, represent Athens. I don't think I ever been to Athens, but he holds shit down, man, and he's showing like what hard working, and it's in his drip, man, and the swag. Like his swag is like straight up. You know what I'm saying? Ohio, like he know what it is. Come from the slums. You know what I mean? So, he doing it the right way with the bling and shit. The gat dance, all that shit. That's just fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny looking because he looks like the kid from Home Alone, but he big as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He look like the big ass fuck Home Alone kid. So, and then Rams. Odell, obviously, that's the biggest thing that we talk about here. And him, how he able to make it. Like, you know what? Like, I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he got this opportunity to play in the Super Bowl and everything like that. Like, I'm actually kind of more happy that he didn't win it with us because, like, y'all know how I felt about him prior. And even the fact that how this all transpired, it, like, justified why I felt that way the entire time and why I wasn't always 100% bought in because he never made me feel bought in. It was just, like, for show. And, I mean, like, whatever. Like, that was John Dorsey's fault. I've been said don't make that move, but he wanted to make that move. It was a cool move to show, like, I got flex power and shit like that. I thought it was a dope move to bring a superstar talent line here like that. And like I said, I'm happy for him, especially because he did try. Even though he wasn't on our team, he tried to make sure that we got to the playoffs. It's just we blew it. You know what I'm saying? He had that amazing catch against the one team that one year. It looked like he was going to be the reason why our playoff chances were saved. But, leave it to us to just fuck it all up anyway. So, you tried, but you didn't try. But nonetheless, I don't really want you to win the Super Bowl, but it is what it is. Because if you get it, congratulations, man. I mean, you fulfilled your end of all the way on our side, but you've been through it. You went through some years with us, so like I said, you will be a Brown forever or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It would have been good if you could have won it with us, but at the same time, I'm glad that you kind of didn't, because that way I would have been on his bandwagon even harder just because he won it. And I don't think I really wanted that in the first place, just like he did. So it's mutual. So, I mean, that's the reason why, obviously, I wouldn't want, but I do like Stafford. I think Stafford is a good quarterback, and I hope, that he, out of all the shit that he faced in Detroit, that he gets some type of reward like this. But, I'm rolling with Bengals all day, man. Like, this, like, if they win, I'm getting a T-shirt. or a hat. No, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm probably just gonna have it like my memorabilia, like my Cleveland Cavaliers t-shirt. Like I don't never wear that shit. I just got it just so I be like, yeah, you know, in my lifetime, I seen the championship here in Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Bengals. I seen the Super Bowl come to Ohio. Like, you know what I'm saying? In my lifetime, when I like football and I watched it. So yeah, that's I'm rolling with Bengals, but I mean, hopefully, like because of that, I don't give them like no jinx or nothing like that. But and I know there's been a lot of talk like, oh well, you know, Browns fans was like, how can you root for Bengals, blah blah Browns. Like I said, I only got one favorite team. It's the Browns. But we ain't in the playoffs, and I just didn't want to give up on football. And I was like, well, why not? The Bengals, it's an Ohio team. We beat them twice, so whatever, man. It ain't like we hurting about the shit. So yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for them, hoping that they get it together. You know, like I said, who they? I'm going with down the way all day. Let's go. The realest is a Browns fan for this long Brownie Cookie Water episode. Peace.